Kids are expensive, man. Like our youngest, he started playing basketball. Well, he joined the basketball team. He went to all 3 practices. We got him some sneakers and stuff. I don't think he's even going to fit in those shoes next year. Yeah. we bought him these shoes because he thought it might help him play better. But
he asked for it. Yeah. He asked for basketball shoes. We're like, okay.
Which was did you buy him? Did you buy him like LeBron James sneakers?
We did.
You did?
Yeah.
We got it for him.
Did it help him?
And then that was the last game he attended.
This is your oldest, right?
Youngest.
Oh, your youngest?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you should have knew better.
Well, the thing was, like, we were just so happy that he wanted to play basketball. But the thing is, are you sure?
He's like a home potato. He doesn't do anything.
Right?
So we're like, he said he'll try basketball. I'm like,
I was like, really?
Sure?
I was very shocked. We were so shocked.
I was like, okay.
So he joined the team, and when they're that age, 6th grade, they're just throwing up bricks for like 30 minutes, So like,
school's like 3 to 7.
But his team, they ran up the score.
Intense. They were intense.
They ran up the score 50 to like 2, right?
Oh, snap.
I was like, guys, gotta take it easy, right?
This coach gonna get fired.
Like 50 to 2.
No mercy. It was like Cobra Kai.
Guys, take it easy.
Right.
So they were playing the 3rd string. So they're like, all right, we're running it. Like, let's just play the 3rd string, and the 3rd string was still crushing the other team. So I was like, there's nothing.
Ooh.
What else do you tell the coach to do, right? They threw my son in, and like my son was still doing pretty okay. What do? The other team's throwing in the 3rd string, right? And they're still crushing you. That's not.
There's nothing you can do.
What do you want us to do, right? Just throw the ball around, like throw ourselves on the floor, and let's just let you guys do a circle. But anyway, my son, we call my son the traffic cone. I don't think he'll ever hear that. Well, actually, he does listen to the podcast. All right, but anyway, we call him the traffic cone. Because everyone has to play around him. He doesn't really touch the ball or anything like that. He's just like the traffic cone that people have to do drills around and stuff.
I was like, I cannot watch anymore.
I was like, dude, you're running the wrong way. You gotta go, your basket's this way, my friend.
Oh my god!
Because he's not athletic.
You know what? You got to give him some props for actually trying it and putting himself out there.
Right.
So you want some LeBrons? Okay, you're gonna get some LeBrons. I'll get you some LeBrons.
You earned them.
But the first season always tough. Like when you're trying a new sport and there's people who've been doing it.
Right.
For years. They're like little kids. They go to basketball camp.
So what am I doing?
Yeah.
I can never touch a basketball in his life.
Practice. I'm watching him. He's just standing there. So he's like this. He's with his hands and standing there. I'm like, let go of your hands. Run, grab a ball.
Because I don't think he understands.
Put your hands up.
He's like,
that's hard
I had
too.
no idea what's going on. Like they've all doing it, so they know what they're doing, drills and stuff. And he's just.
I just like basketball. Y'all sign me up for like a team. Yeah, that's not the part.
Because they're aggressive.
That's not that part.
They're aggressive. They're throwing elbows.
Oh my God.
My kid's not throwing elbows and stuff.
I just want to shoot.
Me and Jen started going to Jen's godson's like basketball games. What age group is this?
He's 10.
Right. Mm-hmm. The anxiety that I feel when I go to this game, and it's not even about the kids, the parents.
Yes.
Crazy.
Are they screaming?
Oh my God.
I was a screamer.
They are apparently every parent is better than the ref. Like knows every call better than the ref.
Yeah. Yes.
And every parent's kid is a superstar, right? So you have to deal with those dynamics of your kid not getting playtime. Obviously, sometimes the kid is not that good, right? But you can't tell the parents that. You have to be corporate about it. And so just juggling all that, it was intense. I told Jen, I don't know if I'm going to come back to another game because
that's a whole different podcast.
It was more anxiety for me to watch him and sit there too in the courtside. And I watched first game. I was like, oh my, this is intense.
It was crazy.
I was like, I feel the anxiety for the kid. I'm like,
yeah, but it's all good. You already started talking. But
wait, let's go back to basketball real quick because we got to talk about something very important that's going on tonight. Hello?
Okay, there's a Knicks. Oh, you're wearing a Knicks t-shirt too.
Yeah, both of them.
I mean, I'm
Game
not gonna
5.
hold you. I'm a diehard Knicks fan, but I don't got the shirts.
Come on.
I'm like the 1990s diehard Knicks fan.
Yeah,
These new Knicks,
Patrick Ewing.
they got to win a few more games for me to be a believer.
Well,
it's very true. We're all treating it like it's the finals, but it's okay.
Let's enjoy the fact of this new culture that we have in the Knicks basketball. We have a great coach. We have a great team, and we're missing our second best player. So, we're not expecting a championship, but we're expecting maybe Eastern Conference Finals. But let us enjoy it. It's been decades.
Yeah, Ben, New Yorker.
It's been decades.
Listen, I'm not hating. Die hard. Patrick Ewing, John Starks, Anthony Mason. Like, I'm that New York Knicks fan. You know what I'm saying?
This team reminds me of that 90s team.
Yeah.
They're scrappy. They're very physical, but the only difference is that they shoot threes. But they're just as physical as that 90s team, which is why New Yorkers have embraced them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to the city today to watch Game 5, and hopefully they could advance to the second
You guys are
round.
so funny.
Let's
Going
go.
just into the city just to watch the game.
Yeah.
Next time, let me know.
Yeah,
I
I'm
want
not
to
going to
go.
do
Go
that.
through all that.
I'm not about to do that.
Round 2.
I want to go.
If they win
go tonight.
today and
I got
advance,
meetings.
that 7th Avenue
That's gonna go crazy.
is going to be shut down.
Yeah.
Isn't it be Knicks
You guys
fans?
taking a train in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
You guys can
Risking.
take a train in to go to the city, but you guys won't take a train to go
Because
to your
it's Penn
engagement
right
sessions?
there.
Yeah.
Get off
I
of
mean,
Penn,
it's
walk
different. That's true,
outside,
too.
walk
Yeah.
back in.
Central Park for
Pretty
store.
much.
I got to carry my bag.
Yeah.
No,
2
dude.
avenues.
No, dude. It's like 2-3 stops. You don't even have to leave Penn Station. Penn Station, you get out
Right,
you get
you
out the
just hop
train,
on the
then
train.
you just get the subway. It's literally in the same
Right,
train
but
station.
it's still 2 avenues away from the
park?
72nd and Central Park West.
It's a short walk. It's like
I'm not gonna lie to you. I would take my gear on Jersey Transit. I'm not gonna take my gear on the subway. I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah, subway,
I'm just not
yeah.
gonna do it. It's just
I
different.
mean,
Do you drive in, Karis?
She drives
I
in.
never
She never
take-
takes
I
public
never.
transportation.
I've
us
never
either.
taken public transportation in my life.
Oh no, we
In your life?
In my
we've
life.
taken it
I
all
went
our
to
lives.
school in the city. I still drove in.
But you
I
know,
never took the subway.
but you know,
Subway scares me.
but you know what the Molinas don't tell you.
Yeah.
The Molinas don't tell you that I do public transportation armed.
Oh, brass knuckles. His
You know?
brass knuckles.
I gotta-
Yes.
You got to stop Asian hate. # stop Asian hate. You know, I got to be careful with that kind of stuff. You know,
They walk around with nunchucks.
and I walk around with my monopod. You know, like I'm not messing around, man. You know. But anyway, I mean, like I don't have my gear all hanging out. You know, I'm not looking for problems or anything.
Yeah, you put everything
Yeah.
on when you're about to work.
Right.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to do New Jersey Transit because we were able to sleep for an hour before we got to
That's
Central
why he
Park,
does
That's
it.
why I
Yep.
do
which
it.
was nice. But after COVID, when there was parking available, and then
Yeah.
this lot, if you use Spot Hero, is $20, right, for this lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm just like, you know what? It's literally across the street from the park,
Yeah,
and
true.
we just go to the park,
Yeah.
have breakfast, and then get our car and go.
But listen,
Shout
do
out
you-
Spot Hero.
sponsor.
Yes.
But the thing is, you got to pay for gas, tolls, parking.
Yeah.
Still, it's
all that
fine. It's fine. No.
For me to get on the
Never
Jersey
public
Transit,
And
no,
time.
Jersey Transit and the subway round trip, we're talking
It's
about
quick. Yeah, it's
25
quick.
bucks, no more than 30
Yeah.
bucks for the day.
no thanks.
And you can relax.
Yeah.
Like it's no stress.
There's
I
no
don't-
traffic. I don't have to.
need to relax.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine.
I think after today, when we go to the city, we're probably going to reconsider maybe occasionally taking it to the city.
No. There's 2 of you. Just
Man,
two
that's a
of
no
you.
She
from
sleeps the whole ride there. Like
So we sound like a lot of people.
She has no remorse for me. Like
Let
nothing.
me ask you this. When you, at what point during the ride home or going to does she volunteer to help, like pick up the driving?
Never.
Like, hey, do you need me to drive? Hey, do you need me to drive?
Never.
Hey,
Never.
hey, let me know when you're tired.
I'm not
I'll
even
drive.
ashamed to admit it.
Dang, I was gonna say at least
Never.
she says it in her mind.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to admit
Never.
it.
You know what my wife does? Like, we're 2 blocks away from home. She's like, hey, are you tired? Like, I'll drive if you need me to. We're 2 blocks away
No,
from the
I'll
house.
park it.
no,
I'll
no,
park
no.
the car.
That's when I wake up magically, my eyes open. I'm like, do you want me to drive?
We're 2 blocks.
Yeah,
I already
sure,
drove 2 hours
just-
already. You know?
Just park it.
And the times that I do offer, you always tell me no. And you know there's been plenty of times I offer.
I don't even remember.
You're a liar. Especially the times that you're tired.
The only thing I do remember is the times that I have been like extremely tired was when I used to work overnight, and I would pull over real quick to shake it off. Just let me drive, because like she didn't want me to pull over for like 5-10 minutes for me to
Yeah.
Reset,
No,
right?
that's not how it went. I always said, do you want me to drive? And you said, I'm fine. It's true.
Not true at all.
So true.
This is every husband
There's-
and wife's
Yeah.
argument.
There's a movie based on me. Driving Miss Daisy.
You want Morgan Freeman?
Whatever.
Well, anyway, you guys ready to start this podcast? Enough bickering, enough therapy session.
Let's
Okay?
do it. Let's do it.
You guys ready to start
I'm
this
ready.
podcast?
I'm ready.
You opened that can of worms. You're like, let's see who wants to drive. By the way, I always drive at night.
That's bullshit. Oh, okay. You're right. Recently, yes.
You bullshit.
Yeah.
What recently?
Well, when I get my new glasses, I will be driving.
Right.
No
Sure.
bickering for you guys. Start.
All right. So anyway. Welcome to the Focus AF podcast. My name is Ben.
I'm Karis.
Jen.
And this is Ro.
And we are Focused AF.
Yes.
So back to talking about, let me see, what we were talking about? We were talking about parents at sport games, which I think is a great segue to today's guest, who probably seen his fair share of, parents behaving badly at sporting events.
I am the parent behaving badly. Natasha, that's not me.
I thought he was quiet the whole time. He's like, yeah.
That sounds about right.
He's like, they're talking about me.
So without further ado, let's welcome today's guest on today's episode, Mr. Benjamin Davis. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Man.
So this is the part where you introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Let's
Tell
talk
us
about
all the things you do. Oh, what are those? I think you should show them. How far can you lift your foot?
I have to take one shoe off. My comfy slippers.
Dude came up to our podcast wearing his house slippers.
No, these are my Jordan 1s. Jordan 1 slippers. These are limited edition. Hold on, let me see. I should have stretched.
Look like Mickey Mouse.
There we go.
Yes.
These are my Sonic the Hedgehog. Yes, Jordan. These are comfy.
They look comfortable.
Yeah,
I'm jealous.
You know what? I'm about to wear
You
a pair
told
of
me you
those.
couldn't see no shoes, so I was like, well, just let me be me.
That's what we're leading
She
in
got on
with.
flip flops. Crocs. Let me wear my slippers.
Yeah, I got
you
Crocs.
got slippers? Oh, man.
Oh, because when I go to the bathroom, I have to take my shoes off.
You know
It's a whole
Our
thing.
feet don't show.
You know what? I'm going to buy a pair of those.
Do it.
Do it.
I've got like a few different pairs. I've got these ones. I've got the Jordan 11s, Jordan 13s.
Got the whole collection.
Listen, depending on what, sweatpants you wear, you got to have it right.
Gotta match.
Right slippers.
for Jordan.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Ben, introduce yourself.
Yeah.
What
All
you
right.
do?
So my name is Benjamin Davis. I like to take long walks on the beach when it's cold outside. And since I live on the Jersey Shore, that's pretty frequent. No, I am Benjamin Davis. I am one half of the team at Yamean Studios. I work with my beautiful queen of my life, Natasha. Who,
Shout out to Tasha.
Yeah, Tasha. She does all the hard work. I just carry the bags. Yeah. So, listen, I know how to stay married. It's worked out well so far. We're wedding filmmakers, videographers, guys with cameras that push the red button to make people smile.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been doing that for about, it's been a minute. Throwback out here. Probably 7-8 years.
We met you 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I know,
Yes.
7-8 years we've been doing that. But we actually started off, I actually started off with a marketing company that I'm actually relaunching, rebranding, called McKee Place Creative. And that's how most people outside of the wedding world actually know me for branding, strategy, marketing, and creating digital collateral. So that kind of lended itself to weddings. And then now we are circling back now that my kids are sucking up on my time and I'm not as available to shoot other people getting married. So I can be more present with my family. So hopefully I answered that question. I like to eat pizza. Go Knicks.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, Nix.
So how did Yamean Studios come about?
Oh boy. Okay, so I'm in a fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And when I wasn't pledging, because that's not a thing, because that's illegal, right? We don't do that.
Pledging?
Yeah, we don't
Pledging's
do
illegal?
that. Yeah, sure. Hazing. Pledging, all that.
Oh, hazing, I know it's illegal. Pledging.
Yeah, sure. We're gonna go with that. Yeah. So when I was doing those fun activities, one of the words that frequently came up when they asked me questions that I didn't know the answer to was Yamean.
Mm-hmm.
And so I became known as Big Brother Yamean. So all my fraternity brothers know me that way. And that was something my dad said a lot growing up, was the word Yamean. So be that as it may, I started doing some digging, started doing some research. And it turned out that I was actually having a meeting with a client, and they told me that word translates in Hebrew to son of the right hand. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Son of the right hand.
Right? And then when I researched my own name, it actually also translates to son of the right hand.
Yeah, I knew that too.
So
I didn't want to.
So I was like, coincidence?
Yeah.
I think not. So actually, before we started doing weddings, we were known as Yamean Studios for doing branding and marketing and stuff like that. So it made for a great elevator speech, right? Mm-hmm. But also, when you Google us, we're the only ones. Like, there's nobody else for like 3 or 4 pages except for random urbanites posting inappropriate things. So, so it was just us. So it worked out well from a marketing standpoint. And so in college, even though I went to school to study engineering, I started dabbling in design and web development since I was already doing coding and things like that. And once I got married, my wife kicked me out of the boat and said, just go do it.
Nice.
So that's kind of how Yamean Studios was born. Before we morphed into doing weddings, I had a friend who knew I had been doing some marketing work for a restaurant and some museums in the city of Pittsburgh. She didn't know that I didn't shoot video, but she saw that I had been doing some editing. And so she kind of hustled me into shooting her wedding. And so I really didn't know what we were doing. I dragged my wife along with me. I said, let's go. She said, where we going? I said, downtown somewhere.
Hold this camera.
Yeah, pretty much. So I rented some cameras from now defunct borrowlenses.com. Like it was like a Canon 70D and some kit lenses and some other random stuff that I had no idea what I was doing.
Oh my God.
Didn't own a camera bag. Didn't own anything actually. Bought some tripods from Best Buy. Bad idea. Don't do that.
The plastic ones.
No.
Then the plastic ones that like fall apart when you look at them.
No.
Then we were putting cameras and lenses in like a laptop bag because that's the only bag we had. Like we
Wow.
looked real defunct. Like it was good thing these people liked us and they knew us
So
and they
now we
loved
gotta
us.
ask, because we asked everybody, how much did you charge for the first wedding?
I think we got paid $250.
Okay.
That's about what we charge.
Yeah.
You can get 4 Moses cruises for that.
That's our metric system.
That's our system. So when our producer makes the graphic, it's going to be 4 Moses cruises heads.
I can picture that in my head. That's every time I see Moses, I'm be like, dang, Moses. I'm sorry.
So
Let me just shake my hands.
You probably spent more on renting the gear, right?
So yeah, we spent like $600 renting the gear.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we made a profit of negative.
Yeah.
And then we lived in Jersey at that point. The wedding was in Pittsburgh, so then we had to pay
Oh
for
my God.
all that. So
Gas
we
and
probably,
tolls, man.
yeah, we probably,
Negative.
Wait.
A lot.
yeah.
You didn't get travel reimbursement, nothing?
Child, we didn't even get a hotel room.
Oh.
You slept in the
Yeah,
car?
drive.
No, we slept at Tasha's parents' house. So
Oh, okay.
at least we got free room and board.
Yeah.
And, free breakfast and bacon and, you know,
Oh my
dinner.
God.
Oh
But
my
Well, I hope
God.
you got the mileage deduction at the very least at the end
I
of the year.
mean, yes, definitely did that. Definitely did that. My accountant was not about those shenanigans. So we definitely did that. But everything else,
I mean, I think that's a common story for a lot of us.
Oh yeah.
First wedding. Yeah.
yeah. So then we did that. And then we sent it to him. And then, of course, social media was social media. And at that point, they posted it.
You said 8 years ago you said you started?
Yeah.
So that's 16.
Yeah.
15, 16?
It had to be
something like that.
before that, Ben.
You stopped
We
counting.
did-
That's not
You stopped
right.
counting. You
That's
stopped
not right. We did a wedding together
You
in
stopped
March.
counting.
We did Tawana's wedding March 2016 together.
Yo, we're like really old. Like,
Yeah.
yo.
Yeah,
You
so
stopped counting.
that would have been like your second wedding.
Yo, keep messing up my story, bro. I gotta start the whole story again because I
I'm
got
gonna
the wrong
remind you how
numbers.
old you are.
Oh, snap.
I was like, you did pretty good for 8 years.
Yeah.
2000. I got married.
That was
in
like
2000.
it was probably like a year or two after you guys started the weddings.
Are we like
Yeah.
14, 13,
Yeah,
14?
2014.
14.
Dang, that was 10 years ago. Oh,
No, like
The math
I
ain't
gotta count on my
mathing.
fingers.
Yeah.
because sometimes the numbers, I'm like, holy shit. Like, I've been with my wife 18 years.
Yeah, yo. I've been married 13
What's
years.
the
I didn't
secret?
even realize.
The secret?
What's the
Not
secret,
talking-
Karis?
Not talking.
Not talking to him.
We've been together 21. Fool, what's the
I
secret?
The secret is let him drive.
Just let him drive.
Let him drive.
The secret is let him drive.
That's in every marriage. Let him drive.
That's a secret. I just drive everywhere. No problem. Vacation,
As long as he
work,
drives.
pleasure, I'm driving. Of
All right, let me ask this question. Does she even go to the driver's side?
course not.
Okay.
Just an offer. It's sort of like when you go out on a date with a lady for the first time.
Yesterday when we're leaving to go to the asset meeting, so I walk. So he left. He was in the car, sitting in the car already. So I walk, and I was about to get in the passenger side. He's already sitting there. I'm like,
See? My man. If I come out, listen,
what
if
are
I
you
come out
doing
and talk to you in my seat, I'd be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're in my chair. Get up. So, Yeah, dang, I didn't even realize I was that like it was that long.
Yeah, so
oh my
like 10
God.
years.
Yeah, so you've been doing this about 10 years then.
Yeah, 10. Dang, it's 2024. It's like 10 years. That
Yeah,
is crazy.
24.
You're right.
Yeah, when you know what's funny, right? I was about maybe about a month ago, I started listening to the music at my gym, at my kickboxing gym, right? And I'm like, man, I'm jamming to these songs and stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, shit, songs are like 20-some years old.
Yeah.
Because I'm listening to like Flow Rider, I'm listening to like Biggie, I'm like, these songs are 20, 30 years old. I'm jamming to the oldies. Like when you look at Richard Simmons and like, you know, we're teasing him because, you know, he's jamming to the oldies from like the 60s and the 70s, right? But like I'm doing the same thing right now, jamming to like Britney Spears and NSYNC at my gym. You know, these songs are 20, 30 years old.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm trying to remain young.
50 Cent's concert, what was that, 20 years since Get Rich or Die Trying?
Yeah.
20 years.
That sounds crazy when you say it out
So
loud.
you look at, they say that like when you look at like the Super Bowl performers, halftime performers and stuff, right? It's not for the young people. It's for the people who can afford.
Definitely.
That's why the motorcycle is our generation of performers.
So like that's why you're like, oh man, Eminem and Dr. Dre.
Sure.
Oh my gosh. Like yeah, that's our generation of music.
So this is how I figured out when I was really old. So I'm in the car listening, you know, I'm riding with my son, and he puts a song on. He's like, Dad, what do you think of this song? And I'm like, dude, like, this is a remake of a song when I was your age, right? So then in my mind, I was like, oh, I used to do that to my dad. We used to put on songs. And he used to be like, that's Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm like, no, that's Biggie. Now, he put on a song. I'm like, bro, that's Biggie. He's like, no, that's
Earth,
Little
Wind, and Fire.
Dump. Like, whatever, make up a dude. I'm just like, oh my gosh, we're the sample generation. We are officially old people.
Yes.
That's when I realized I was like, oh shit. I was like,
When they're finally resampling all the music that we loved.
Yep. Yep.
That's how we know we're starting to turn to dust.
It's over.
Yes.
It's over.
Oh man. So what was the journey like for Yamean for the past 10 years? As far as like how many weddings you shot? How does that whole process look for you guys?
Well, I'm still married, so clearly
it has eaten a little bit.
it worked out pretty well. Honestly, it's been a fun journey, to be perfectly honest with you. It's been a journey of self-discovery and a little bit of sorts of reinvention, and just really being able to dive into creativity that's been undampered, right? I went to school to be an engineer. I'm pretty sure most creatives started out doing everything but what they actually do now. But being able to take the skill sets and the ability to think outside of the box that we gathered from those educational experiences has allowed most of us to thrive in a way that most creatives who went to school for those crafts are sometimes stuck in those boxes, right? They're stuck between the walls of the laws of what is in the textbook that they learned that art's supposed to be, what photography is supposed to be, what video is supposed to be. Well, because we don't know those things from a theory standpoint, our minds are a little bit more open, right? You know, when I first started shooting, I didn't know anything about the 180 rule. I just knew that didn't look right, right? So being able to be I don't want to say uneducated, but a little bit more free in our ability to create has allowed us to create a style that we feel like is us, that was very unique. Well, is very unique to us. When you see it, you know it's us, unadulterated. And I love that about what we do. You know, we've always tried to march to the beat of our own drum. When we first started out, we kind of dibbled and dabbled in a little bit of everybody's style to kind of figure out what felt good to us. And once we figured out that we didn't like any of that stuff, we decided to, you know, figure out what worked best for us by just learning and playing. And so we played this game, and we still do to this day, 10 years later. I got the right number this time, where we grab our cameras and we go somewhere random, and for 5 minutes, we try to make as much creative content as we can. And that's our version of practicing, right? Now with video, before autofocus became a thing, everything was all manual focus. So we started out shooting on Canon 5D Mark IIIs, all manual focus. And so that was our time to practice, you know, nailing our focuses. We used to chase our kids around the playground and shoot them, you know, at at high
Personal
noon.
work,
Yeah,
man.
that's tough because they're not going to stay still. Hey,
just
don't go down the
constantly
slide yet. I
adjusting
got to
that.
get you.
Changing
You know what I'm
dogs,
saying?
yeah.
Right. So, but doing that, with shooting events, you know that nobody's ever going to stand still. Things are happening rapidly. So it caused us to level up very quickly, but it also put us in a position to shoot high profile, high stress, higher energy events very efficiently because we were intentional about practicing our skills in a way where there wasn't any, I don't want to say stress, but there wasn't anything to be lost, right? It wasn't a lose-lose. For us, it was just an opportunity to get in the gym of our craft. And I know a lot of creatives don't necessarily do that, right? They're not getting paid. They're not shooting.
The camera's not
my
leaving
camera's
the
in my
bag.
bag.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And so we were really intentional about practicing, but also using that time to figure out, what lighting setups did we like? What do we want our imagery to look like? And that's kind of how our style kind of developed from just practicing and trial and error on our own dime to figure out what we liked. I think that while most people feel that imitation is annoying, we've learned to embrace it as a form of flattery. Especially the more places we travel, the more young filmmakers that we find are like, oh my gosh, we used to watch your stuff on Instagram. It's amazing. I'm like, so why you copying me, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like I used to feel some type of way, but now I think it's a form of flattery. Like, oh my gosh, they really looked up to us and they asked me a lot of questions. How did you get here? How did you do that? And we're at a space now where we're trying to learn how to continue to innovate and figure out where do we go from here? Where do we want to go within the space that we've created for ourselves? So I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, I like what you said about how you used to get offended when they would imitate you, but now you don't realize when you reach a level where people are looking at you and admiring what you're doing because you're still wrapped up in like that imposter syndrome and like being whatever, it's my stuff, and then you kind of get intimidated or threatened by someone doing something similar to you, but you don't realize now you're in a space where people can look up to you. That means you've done well. You are now in a space where people can admire you.
Yeah.
It's a very weird place to be in. But I think, like you said, it's just being now is the time when you start to give back to the community and you're able to educate. And that ties in a lot of what you do with education as far as like speaking and going out there, always at conferences. Tell us how that whole process began.
Honestly, I never really wanted to get into education as far as like in this space. I never felt that I was a dude or for lack of better words, I was a dude. I was someone that people looked up to, right? I just wanted to do a good job. I wanted to feed my family. I wanted to eat chicken nuggets and french fries at receptions and dance with the bridesmaids and have a good time, right? And create an experience, not just a product, but create an experience using video as a medium that allow people to remember one of the best days of their entire life. And that's kind of our mantra at Yamean Studios is, the video is a byproduct of the experience that you create. At the end of the day, if you don't have a good experience, I don't care what's on the video, you're not gonna have happy thoughts when you put in whatever we provide for you, right? And even down to the fact that, I had a wedding where the groom's tux never showed up.
Oh no.
So I took him to the mall and I bought him a tux. Like, bro, you can't get married without a tux. Like, what type of...
You bought him a tux?
I bought my man a tux. You know what I mean? I took him to the mall during prep and I bought my man a tux. And he reimbursed me later. Bro, that's a whole nother meeting. That's a whole different podcast. Woo!
What about the other groomsmen? They weren't even helping.
Yeah,
it's
they
crazy.
didn't have a credit card?
I didn't know where they were. I mean, these tuxes were being custom made by one of the groom's parents. So that was awesome.
Involving friends and family. I got something we could talk
so
about.
So that's a whole nother meeting. So the tux...
No, we're going to talk about it today.
Never made it. But at the end of the day... Right. Listen, I didn't see it all day. I allegedly arrived where?
Oh
but,
my God.
if you don't have a tux and you're trying to get married, that takes away from the experience that you're trying to have. So no matter what I put on video, you're gonna be sad, right? And so
you're not about to turn that man into a meme.
Yeah, listen, you know I'll do it. He'll be a sticker real fast. iPhone will get you. But I wanted him to remember his day on a good note. So if that's what we need to do to make it happen, that's what we need to do, right? And so that's really what we aim to do in everything that we do. When I'm between dancing with the flower girls. Because I want the bride to look over and be like, yo, my videographer was crazy. He was really dancing with the flower girl. But you know what? That made my day because everybody else was shunning the flower girl away. And he was making sure that she had a good time. Because she's a part of the experience. And so a lot of people are so focused on creating the products and providing the service that they forget about the experience that's a part of the whole process. And so that's one thing that we really pride ourselves on focusing on. Even down to what you show up and wear. I mean, that stuff is really, really important. We were fortunate to start filming more higher end weddings, and you got to look the part. You can't show up looking like average Joe, so I wear a bow tie. Then I became known in the industry for always wearing a bow tie.
Yeah, you guys going to keep making fun of me for wearing a tux?
Yeah, listen.
I'm not making fun of you.
So that was my thing. So need I digress, right? So I never really thought of myself as one of those guys. But I always wanted to give back. So I found myself on Facebook longer than I should have been, pouring into other people consistently. So when someone gave me the platform to do it in a larger space so I could get off Facebook and just talk for an hour and then be a regular person again, I was happy to do that. And so I've been doing it ever since. I don't have a course. I probably should, because Ben's probably gonna yell at me. I don't have a mailing list or a whole funnel.
You don't have a funnel?
I just love helping people. And that's just me. That's just my personality. And so I think that genuine authenticity comes through in the sessions that I do. And that's probably why I keep getting invited back to speak at conferences without having a massive following or 7 giveaways and 7 ways you can shoot video with no fingers. Like I don't have type of thing.
With no lens.
Yeah. You just blink 2 times. Got it. Right. But just because I just love pouring into people, and and most people don't know I did some adjunct teaching at NJIT and at Bloomsburg University even during COVID to some of the freshmen and the sophomore classes about content creation and video from your cell phone to actual professional camera. And I wasn't getting paid. I wanted to do it. I wanted to give back. I wanted to see these people win.
How did you get in? How they contacted you, or you volunteered? Or?
Somebody actually saw me, and they knew somebody who knew somebody, and they just was like, "Hey, we're doing this thing here. You want to get back?" And I was like, "Well, it was a paid gig, but I don't need the money back. Back to their residence life programs." Just because I wanted to do it. It was something cool to do. So.
Yeah, like when I talk to people about going above and beyond for their clients, they think it's just about great customer service, delivering early on top of schedule, like ahead of schedule, or like just answering emails promptly. I was like, you know what? Do you know how many people are answering the emails promptly and like being kind and courteous and friendly on the phone? Like it's more than just that, guys. I just love that you took the groom out to the mall to get a tux.
Right.
I was like, that's amazing. And you compare this to, I don't know if you saw this video recently. It was like a short 15-second video. There's this videographer lady. She was photographing the dance floor. It must have been the first dance or something like that. And there's a little girl playing with the bubbles that were coming out. And this lady kicked this girl twice. Did you see it?
Yeah.
No, she was playing with the wire.
No. She was playing with the bubbles. The bubbles were coming out. The bubbles were coming out to the dance floor, and she kicked the girl twice.
She kicked her out the way.
Because the girl was in the way. And I was like, you compare that to, you taking the groom out to get a tux. I mean, like, totally different experience. You know what I mean? Some people are so, you're absolutely right. Some people are so consumed and preoccupied with their product that they forget that the experience is part of that product.
Mm-hmm. Right, they just want their
artistry. They just want their product to be perfect. Yep. But the thing is, that is not just the product, okay? The product is the experience that you're giving to everyone around you.
Yeah. And not just your clients, the potential clients.
Yes.
There's
their
people
friends,
that treat potential clients like pretty badly. Before they even have a chance to meet with them, they're already like giving them a sour experience, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not even thinking about the potential client at that point. I'm thinking about
just serving.
You got to be a servant leader in everything that you do, right? And everybody, even down to the fun people that work at the venue sometimes are a part of the experience for the couple. So, while that girl with the bubbles might have been in the way of this epic shot that you might have had in your mind, when they get to the cookout or they get to the Christmas dinner and they start talking over macaroni and cheese, it's going to come out that, man, did you see that dude who kicked my goddaughter with the bubbles? Like, that's going to come back up, and then it's going to taint the whole experience.
Oh yeah.
That video's viral. Everyone knows who that video is, right? Okay.
And so those things matter, and how you treat everyone in the room matters
1,000%.
The entire
people,
experience.
I feel like sometimes people, some business owners, creatives, they only roll out the red carpet for the people who are paying the money to be there. But the thing is, you got to serve everyone in the room, not just potential clients, but also like the people that you're working with. You know what I mean? The fellow creative team. I don't think there's enough of that. I'm going to get off my soapbox. I can talk for an hour about this. I'm very animated about this.
Listen, I'm with you, bro. Especially the ones that don't bring me chicken nuggets and French fries. When I put it in my contract that I want chicken nuggets and French fries.
Give me the kids.
What is this steak? I don't eat this.
Yes.
So then I go home hungry.
Does it really say in your contract chicken nuggets and fries?
Yeah, I literally asked for it. For Tasha, she gets the same meal as them, and I want the kids' meal. It literally says that. Like, one kid's meal, one adult meal. Dead serious.
That's definitely cheaper than the vendor meal too.
For sure.
Yeah, and I talk about that in my meeting.
But sometimes they refuse to give you kids meal. Yeah. I've asked a few times about can I get the chicken strip? They're like, nope.
It's cheaper. Come on, give it to me.
Did I ever tell you the story when we were working with Jonathan? I'm not going to say where. Jonathan from 4K Weddings.
Sure.
And he asked, the waitress came up to us to take our order. And I ordered salmon or whatever. And he looks over at the lady and goes, can I get like chicken tenders or fries? And she was like, she just stares at him. She was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah. She was like, grow up. She said, grow up. And she walks away. And he looks at me, what the fuck is her problem?
So did he get it?
Yeah, for dinner, he had his...
Did he get a nugget?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
but it was so funny. And like, she looks at him like,
hilarious.
chicken nugget. And then,
Bet you he wasn't hungry, though.
She says, grow up. And she walks away, chicken nuggets, French fries. And I loved it. It was so funny.
I mean, you got to think about it. We're at a wedding like forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of these wedding venues' food is not that great.
No.
Right.
So at a time, I'm not trying to play Russian roulette when I'm hungry. Bring me something I know you can't mess up.
Yes.
You can't mess up chicken tenders and fries. If you did that, shut the whole wedding down. You should not be in business no more. Like,
that's true.
You know what I mean?
Another hack that I learned was, when you look at the sushi station, right? Only touch the sushi if they're making it fresh in front of you. If it's wrapped in plastic and they just unwrapped it, they might have made it a couple hours ago. They may have made it a couple days ago.
They got that shop right and then put it on a plate.
If you got some old Asian dude,
10 hours old.
You got some old Asian dude in the back there rolling stuff, then it's probably safe to eat.
It's legit.
Yeah.
Or a Mexican guy. I see Mexican guys.
All cultures can roll sushi, guys.
Which race?
Don't get me canceled.
Anybody fried chicken yet. But if you see somebody fried chicken, call me. I'll be there in 10 minutes.
As long as there's somebody there rolling the sushi, there's a high chance that it's good.
Yeah, so we made it in front of you. That's right. Yeah, made to order. Right? I don't know how we got onto this topic.
Yeah. Chicken nuggets and French fries. That's what.
Chicken nuggets and French fries.
You're not the first person I know who that's their meal.
A lot of people
do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a legit reason. I was actually talking about this this morning with in my meeting this morning about what was I talking about? Oh, about how like we're very disciplined in our work. A lot of things that people don't really think about. Your life as a wedding creative, when you got to do work on the weekends. Like I tell my associates that, listen, if you're going to eat out Monday to Wednesday. Don't go out Thursday or Friday. Because if you get sick, like you could work through the flu. I've worked with the flu. Yeah, right? Same. You can work with a headache. You can work with a cough. But if you got a stomach bug, forget it.
It's over.
It's over, man. It's game over. So I was like,
I've shot a wedding with a stomach bug.
I'll be right back.
I was fortunate to be the second shooter that day. Yeah. And I told the primary, like in advance, I was like, hey, I have my stomach is messed up.
Oh my gosh.
But if you can't find nobody, I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
And he couldn't find nobody, so I went all day, just
Oh.
like be right back and forth.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but he knew, and he was grateful that I still showed
came.
up. You
Yep.
know, I still did my job. I was fortunate that when I had to go to the bathroom, it was during like little gaps.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but it's terrible to shoot like that.
Yeah, if the food looks even I've had reactions as fast as cocktail hour.
Oh yeah,
right?
same here.
So like if you have to ask, then the answer is no. Like don't touch it, right? If you have to ask, right?
What is that?
Right. Don't touch it. I remember, and this is a very big venue too. I'll tell you guys after we're done recording, right? It's a very big venue. And they're known for their food, right? So, but in any case, I thought it was safe to eat. So I ate it during cocktail, and then by speeches, it was mom's speech. You were there. It was mom's speech.
Happened to me recently.
Right?
Yeah, you left
Like,
me.
I gotta go.
I was like, you need to take over because I can't.
Even this past weekend.
Well, let me finish the story first, right? So like,
More than one.
Definitely more than one. With
yeah,
Ben.
so the mom,
he
the mom had a speech, and I was like, all right, it's just the mom's speech. I got my key shots. I got to be out.
Yeah, he's like, I'll be back.
This is the last speech anyway, so like I got my key shots. I'll be back, right? So I left. I must have been gone for 45 minutes. I came back. She was still talking.
still talking.
The same thing happened to us.
Yeah, he ran to the bathroom. They were still talking. When he got back.
First of all, what is she talking about? Still for 45
I think she
minutes.
was an only child.
Oh wait, this
my
is something
God.
to talk about because you do video. You're recording all this. What's the longest speech you've had?
25 minutes.
Oh,
That's not bad.
Not too bad. Yeah.
That's not bad.
That's still a long time.
We
Like,
have it longer.
that's still
We've had
long. That's still long.
Bitch, that's a sermon. What are we doing?
Yeah.
We've had
we
That's
were
longer than a
let me
ceremony.
tell you something. We were at Shadowbrook, right? And you know Shadowbrook, they have a tight shift. They have a schedule. They
This
got to
was
go by.
older Shadowbrook.
This is older Shadowbrook before they did
Before
rentals,
renovation.
right? They're waiting for the speeches to be over. And both the bride and the groom, they were only children. They were the only child for both sides.
Okay.
So they had a lot of stuff to share. So basically, each parent had like they wanted to gloat. They're so proud of their kid. So they started talking about the kid from the moment they were born. Oh, she was perfect when I brought her home from the hospital and blah, blah, blah. And then we went through first grade, second grade, middle school, high school, college, the whole
Security.
career.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh man.
45 minutes for each of those speeches. Hour and a half.
So all of reception pretty much went
to the speeches.
Oh,
And the
Wow.
management was
They couldn't
like,
serve food.
the food's getting cold. How long is this? I don't know. This is
We got
I
like
just
zero
worked here.
dance, like literally zero dancing. Like it was.
I'm
two
just a
speeches.
photographer.
I mean, I haven't had a singular speech go that long. Now, I've had a culmination
Series.
Yeah, yeah,
Serious.
a series of speeches go about an
Yeah.
hour and some change
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
You know, with so long that I had to get new cards, new batteries.
Yeah.
I filled up a whole nother card. I was like, what are we doing here? Like, this is enough. You about to get cell phone speeches.
My shift is up. Like,
Yeah.
That's happened a few times. Like, I was off 45 minutes ago. What are we doing here?
Oh my
I once
gosh.
did bridal party entrances for 30 minutes.
Oh my god.
Wedding party
Yeah.
entrances. They were
Nope.
announcing each of them, and they each had their own little
Nope.
2-minute skit.
Oh my
All right,
god.
I will bring you to some fun Nigerian weddings that last 45 minutes of
yes.
entrances.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
we did.
Yes.
They go-
We
You
had
had
one. It was an
Yeah.
hour-long
Don't
entrance. I was like, what?
compare it.
I was like, you couldn't walk. You can't
Yeah.
walk any. I'm not trying to get canceled, right? But
Yeah.
like, they're walking so slow. They're going sideways this way, and then they're going sideways
back,
that way,
they go
and then they go back. Right?
Yeah, like cha-cha slide.
You got the wrong way. Dance floor is this way, right?
Definitely cha-cha slide of entrances.
Yes.
the
Yeah.
picture, these, no.
At least you can take like 5 pictures and be out. When I edit the video, they want the whole thing. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. I ran out of battery. I don't know what to tell you.
That was funny. I was like, where are they going? They're going the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's already 40 minutes.
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Dancing back.
Yes.
Yeah.
They take 2 steps forward and 6 steps
Yeah.
back.
No, it's true.
It is.
And you do a lot of multicultural weddings, so like
And
you've
they
seen it
enter
all.
They enter at the pace of a toddler. I'm like, you got
Yeah.
longer legs than that. Like, why are you only taking baby steps? What's
So
happening?
what I saw was not a unique experience. It's common. Like what I.
yeah.
No, that's the thing.
That's what
That's
they did.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
It's,
Every
it's
single
just a
time.
slow.
Yeah.
Every single
Procession.
time. When I get those weddings and they only book like the basic package, I'd be like,
It's
I
not
guess
gonna work out.
That's I'm like, so you're not gonna get no speeches, no cake cutting, none of that. Because after they do their half an hour walk in, then they want to go, do the regular stuff, and then they want to go change for like another 7
right,
hours.
yeah,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they said, yeah.
They come back. Where you
The
at?
money
I'm at the
dance.
house.
The money dance.
When the money dance, yeah.
Then the money dance. The worst is when they have the money dance and nobody comes up to give money.
I've never seen that.
And then they give the talk about, we got an ATM over here with dollars, and I just be like,
That's kind of sad, though.
I just did my job.
So aside from chicken fingers and fries, what other requirements as a videographer do you have on a wedding day?
What's on your rider?
Yeah. Things that I guess would make your job work like officially, get
More
things done
efficiently?
right. Yeah.
Audio guys that actually know how to use their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is a little bit easier to work around. I mean, for videographers, as long as I can get the sound, everything else I can work around. But when I get audio guys who don't know what cables they have or what their gizmos and gadgets do, because I'm just going to say gizmos and gadgets because sometimes they don't even know, and they send me to ask somebody else who sends me to ask them and they still don't know, then at that time, that's when my day gets a little hectic.
But you got redundancy everywhere. You got wireless mics and...
I do, but that's not always the most optimal.
Right. You want to go straight to the system.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you're doing weddings outside, there's birds, there's babies crying, so you can only clean up those lav mics about so much. And then sometimes, you know, if the bride starts crying or turning around and anything she's saying is missed because now her voice is going in the total opposite direction where the microphone is. And so when they ask, well, what happened to my vows? You was doing the most, and you don't want to wear a mic. There's nothing I can do. And you don't want to speak into the microphone. So
you can't hear our vows on our wedding video.
No.
Or you can say, hey, you know, like, I work out here today. I take you, Karen, to be my... Can't hear anything.
So, like, I try to mic all the brides now. Like, I've invested.
Oh, you got little white mics now.
Well, yeah, but I've even got smaller mics than that. Like, I have mics the same size as tie clips now that are so small that... Because I used to have, like, a little Insta mic that I used to ask her to put in between the cleavage, but then they would get lost in the cleavage. And I would never get the mic back. So that's a whole nother...
It's yours now.
Yeah, it's yours now. Just mail it back to me. Never did it. So now I've invested in smaller, even smaller mics that are like tie clips that literally can just clip on the dress. And you won't even notice it because it's white and it's like literally this big.
I need to find me one of those.
Nice.
And that's worked well because nine times out of 10, as much as they preach that, oh yeah, you can triangulate the bride's vows from the officiant and the groom. There's so many other factors at play that 50% of the time that doesn't work. So, and then when you got house systems that are trash or they bought it from Radio Shack way back when.
Radio Shack, what's that?
I know, I'm showing my age again. Radio Shack, Best Buy before Best Buy. Then, you know, that creates a nightmare. So everything else I can work around, you know, lights, I can work around that. Crazy people, we can work around that. But sound, that's something that is really a non-negotiable for me. And even with all the redundancies, still, it turns into a hassle sometimes. So now when we're working with, you know, brides that listen and we say hire a real audio company, not your cousin, not your homie, not somebody you found on Instagram randomly, you haven't been there, then, you know, it works out just fine because they come with all the things. They got shark fins and they got all the cables with the, you know, with the metallic cable wrappings and they just be like, here, I was waiting for you. I'm like, yes, my man. I will leave them a tip. Like, yo, here's a 20. Thank you for making my life easier. I love you. If you ever need anything, holla at me. I'll give you some footage. But the other guys...
But you talking, these are the entertainment people, right?
Yeah.
We were just... It's funny. We were just talking about that before we started recording. If you want to go into your story...
Okay.
Oh, our hot topic?
All right. So we got some listener emails.
Hey, Focus AF crew. You know, I have a story relatively recent that I never thought would ever happen in my lifetime. You know, I've been shooting for probably around 8 years now. Last Friday, I had this bizarre situation with a DJ out in a venue in Long Island. So what happened was at around 6 p.m., that's when everyone's supposed to be, you know, be ready for a ceremony. Let's get the audio ready, get your camera ready. Let's start getting the guests into the ceremony space. By the time it hit 6:30, there's still no one. So I was like, hey, you know, I've talked to the maitre d' of the venue. I was like, hey man, what's going on? You know, we're at the DJ. Why is there no one out in the ceremony room? And he told me, yeah, the DJ had a flat. By the time it hit around 7 p.m., he showed up and we were like, what the hell? What's going on? But he came in intoxicated. He was flurry. He opened his laptop. He was like, don't worry. Let me get the playlist and we can start. But by the time cocktail hour hit, the DJ is nowhere to be found. He probably left. And I was like, whoa, what happened? All right. The maitre d' called in so many favors. By 9 p.m., they had a party going. The music was up miraculously. I have no freaking idea how they piece all these random pieces together. More of the story is consider the type of people you're bringing to a wedding. You know,
Every time. So, like, what's the moral of the story? Don't hire your friends, right? But I was like, no. Well, I was that friend that my friends hired when I was first starting out, right? But the thing is, you got to be able to manage those expectations properly from the front end. You know, I'm not saying like don't hire your friends.
Hey, I might be wasted. I might show up.
Not have any stuff. Oh my god!
Do you guys have mics? Speakers? You don't got nothing? Oh, I gotta bring everything. This is crazy.
I've had a DJ ask me for XLR cables one time, or like I'm just like,
you're a photographer. Why would you have
that's
extra
what I
cables?
thought. I'm like, why would I have these cables on me? Like, and he was, long story short, he didn't want to go all the way back to the reception room to get them because he was setting up for the ceremony. He had them, but he's asking me. I was like, no, I don't have these cables.
Here
Like,
it is.
Yeah, as a videographer, I get asked for some of everything.
Yeah,
I think.
but you know, that's why you pay money for professionals. Okay,
Yeah.
that's why
they come
that's
with the
big
backups for the
difference.
backups.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yes.
And they don't show up drunk. Well, most of them don't show up drunk.
Most
Most of them don't show up drunk.
don't show up drunk.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to throw any names under the bus, but like, you know, I've seen some DJs do some inappropriate things.
Mhm. Why do they always like
It's
drink on the job? I
Typically
don't understand.
from Long Island.
They're always
A lot of
drinking.
them. Yep, a
I don't
lot of them.
understand.
Staten Island too. There's one in
Yeah.
Staten Island.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
My
think
chicken
so.
nuggets.
Probably.
Yes.
There's one. I don't want. I forgot the name, but there was one wedding we did.
Yeah.
And they had Jack.
Cut that out.
They had Jack and Cokes all over, and a pizza box during the reception.
This guy was doing fucking coke.
They're eating freaking pizza. Like
Oh
what the
my
fuck?
gosh.
At least they didn't eat your vendor meal, though.
They
was
do,
like,
they do
holy
take up
crap.
all the vendor meals.
They
They're
do.
the first one sitting down to eat. I'm like,
I'm like, bro, you just got here.
Yeah.
Are you eating my nuggets? Are you eating my? Are you for real, man?
That really happened. That was a thing.
That
I did that.
that
Yeah, I
gets
did
me
that.
angry.
That
Yep.
makes me upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, people do that all the time when they see
You
something.
just showed up.
Yeah.
I've been working
Like,
for
yo.
8 hours now, you know?
Not only that, you ain't even order it, and you're taking my
Yeah.
stuff.
That's
Like,
it.
Yep.
I'm like, bro, you got nuggets? Oh yeah, man, I was so hungry. Really, bro? You know how much work it took me to get those nuggets? And my wife's looking at me like, well, just eat the salmon. No. Nuggets. I'm watching her eat the salmon. It's dry. See? I want my nuggets. But yeah, no, I agree with you, man. I mean, it's crazy because the entertainment at the reception is probably the most pivotal piece of everything.
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have no flowers. You don't even need no tables. For real, for real.
No.
As long as you got a DJ
Uh-huh.
and some great speakers that don't sound like and you have people with a great personality and you're willing to have a good time at
Yes.
all costs,
Mhm.
you're fine. But when you have gaudy flowers and amazing paper everywhere, and then your DJ shows up with his iPhone and some speakers he bought on the side of the room, the Bluetooth speaker. Man, we need to have a meeting. Come to my
Yes.
office.
And this is
'Cause this
something
ain't
that
that.
happens to you a lot because you do a lot of higher end weddings with planners that are like $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 weddings. And Ben's always like, they spent all this on this decor and this was shit or that was shit. And like, why your DJ coming up with Fisher Price kit? Like,
Bro.
always something that they compromise on
Like-
just to show off on everything else.
yeah, yeah.
We have like
Or the photographer is crazy.
in our videographer circle, we have guys that when I see him on the list, I'll be like, oh man, it's gonna be a
Yeah.
long day.
As a photographer?
No, I'm talking about like
Entertainment?
entertainment.
Oh.
Like I already know that any audio I get from that day
Gonna be shit.
is gonna be playing Russian roulette.
Yeah.
Like I gotta go home and literally do surgery or I have to outsource it to like
Make
you know,
it.
somebody who makes movies for a living for real to clean it up, and then sometimes they come back with there's no hope. We can't do nothing. I'm just like,
it was dead on arrival.
Right? And so, like, when I talk to new guys in video who really want to do big time weddings and really do a really job of excellence, the one thing I always tell them is, and no offense to the photographers, because I like to do that too, is that the videographer is probably the most least catered to person in a wedding.
I agree with
all
that.
day.
Yeah.
Right? Because our jobs, unlike everyone else's for the most part, we have to rely on other people to do almost everything throughout the rest of the day. And when one of those things don't go right, there's so much stress that can happen that it'll break you. Like there's been weddings where I just be like, nah, F this, I'm not doing this shit no more. Tasha, pack this shit up, let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying? And there's times where she's flipping out and I have to calm her down. Because some little things like the audio drive you crazy. I'm trying to record speeches and your mic is
breaking up
because you didn't put batteries in it, bro. I charged 24 batteries to shoot these cameras. All you had to buy was 2 AA's. What's happening here? I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's little things that people don't understand. They affect the entire experience for everyone.
What do photographers do that affect your experience?
Honestly, I'm actually pretty good. I've learned over the past decade. Okay, so let me backtrack. So before we show up to a wedding, I make sure I look at their portfolio very thoroughly before I show up. So I can understand just by looking at your composition, by looking at the compression in your images, what type of shooter you are. You know, if you're really bright, I know you're going to flash me to death all day, and that's okay. I got to pick my spots. And then I can tell people who shoot a little bit more.
Bring your shades.
Yeah, I can understand people who understand using light in a very effective way, the same way I do. So I'm like, yes, we're going to have a great day today. You know what I mean? So by going through their portfolio, I kind of can get a feel for the vibe for the day. A lot of people don't do that, right? In our industry, they just kind of show up and they just wing it. And then when they flash you to death, I'm like, bro, all their pictures is bright as hell. You didn't understand that when you looked at it, or you didn't take the time to do the homework. You didn't do the pre-production you should have done before you showed up on the wedding day. You just took the money and showed up. Okay, cool. Do your thing, bro. For me, after doing the homework, I try to have I kind of understand how to work with them. You know, I work with the guys who only shoot with 35s all day, and I understand
they're gonna be close the whole day.
But you know that it just takes. Patience, experience, and practice.
It's mutual.
It takes practice, right? And I know there's videographers who I won't punch in the face who shoot with 35s all day. I don't understand that. But that's not my cup of tea. So it's just really understanding. And again, it comes with experience too. The more you shoot with different types of photographers, different types of people, you start to understand how people work a little bit. Different teams work. You start to understand their synergy. When you're also not glued to the back of your screen, you also can pick up on a lot of things on the way they move and the way they work. I would say the only pet peeve I have is photographers who don't have their awareness slider on their custom meter slid all the way to the top, where, you know, I know we have 3 cameras and we'll have it somewhere, but what if that one camera that you thought had it doesn't have it and you walked in front of the other 2 because you thought we had 3? There's a reason why they asked us to have 3, right? And we're on a tripod, so I can't just move. Like, it's not as simple as just move. And sometimes photographers don't understand that it's not as simple as I could just move to the left. Like, it's easier for you to move to the left than it is for me to move to the left. I don't have AI. I can't remove that one person. You can. So, like, understanding the different mediums is really, really important.
Right. Like, I think where you encounter a lot of challenges, a lot of potential conflict, is when, you know, you have either the videographer or the photographer feeling that their shot is more important than the other person's shot, right? You know, my shot has taken priority over you. And for that reason, that's why we've removed people from our preferred vendor list. It's like, my shot is more important than yours. So I don't care if my camera's in your shot or my tripod's in your shot or my light stands are in your shot, because my shot's more important than yours. Right? That's not going to fly with me, because it has to be a collaborative effort. The couple, they brought us on board to produce amazing products. You know, I don't want to compromise your product just because my product is You know, there's no point in me delivering 100 if your product's going to be a 50.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, that nobody wins in that scenario.
And also, I don't want to deliver products with us in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I want to have some for us to have for content purposes for our own businesses, but I don't want to intentionally be like, oh, look, it's Ben. Let me shoot Ben over there, standing right where I need to get the shot. Like, that's, have some awareness of what's going on. But I have videographers that have the same issue where I just be like, bro, where is your mind at? Like, you don't see the photographer right there? You can stand right in front of him? I want to motion him in the face. Right? And so I don't work with people on my team that do that because we're all team couple, period. Right. So we're all creating memories for them. And so if I impede your ability to do your job, then now I'm being an ass. If you impede my ability to do the job, then I'm being an ass. And we're all losing.
Yep.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
War.
Yeah. And so there's a time when, and we all shoot weddings. There's a time where the photographer, bro, this is your show. I need you lead this. This is your thing, and I'm playing second fiddle. And there's times where this is probably a more video-esque moment, right? And being able to understand those moments, and I don't want to say know your role, but know how to get what you need without being in the way or compromising the other creatives in the room is important. And some people don't have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
And it shows sometimes in their work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah. I think one of the parts of the day that's important for video and why I'm very conscious of shooting is during the formalities during the reception. Like speeches, realistically, we need 3 photos, if that. And so not overshooting and you see your flash going off in the video. So I watch the video sometimes, you have to learn how to slow your roll on that too. Is that when you watch a video, you can just see the photographer's flash is just going off.
Is this an intervention?
A little bit. Because then I feel like it impedes the video a little bit. When you just see our flashes going, when realistically, we just need 2 or 3 of the person talking and then reactions.
There's a reason why I do that sometimes. I'm waiting for the perfect, or they wipe a tear.
But then you have to be conscious and wait for that moment and not just shooting through the moment.
Are you guys using speed lights for toasts?
Yeah. It depends. Like if we're working with a video team that has lights that are strong enough, then I'll feed off of just the lights or whatever.
Yeah, I bring a video light because we all use video lights for speeches and toasts because I would say about 60 or 70%
I do it
of
sometimes.
60 or 70% of our couples, they have video, and I don't if I put on my lights, a video team, they love me. Right?
It's always
but that's crazy. It should be reversed. Like for me, my goal is to light it so well that you smile and you don't need anything else. Like,
you know how many times we've been lighting for videographers lately? We've been the light source for that.
Yeah, most video don't bring the light.
I use LEDs a lot.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Our lights are nicer than the video teams.
Yeah, videos bring those cheap
little panel lights.
Panel lights.
Yeah,
I'm
what are we doing?
I got these here.
I got these. Let me put mine on.
Let me put mine out. Yeah.
Or they don't bring none.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know what to go for a nice shot and we bring the light. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
But in any case, I was like, and the reason why I do that, well, not only because I just want to be a collaborative effort, but also because these are my lights, I get to place it where I want it, where I need it. Hey, these are my lights. These are going where I need them, right?
Boom.
But it helps them out too because they get the shot that they need with the nice lighting, and I can call in favors later. I was like, hey, listen, I know you got your steady cam. I see that you got your steady cam on you and your gimbal. I'm going to let you go around 3 times, but after 3 times, maybe just bump the brakes a little bit.
Okay, let's have a meeting about the go around thing because that drives me insane. Why are we making circles? Where are we going? Where are we going? First of all, where in the video are you going to do a whole circle? Like
You're going to see us at some point.
You're going to see us. Exactly. So let's be smart about it, right? You know what I mean? So I have a quarter circle radius. Like I might hit you with a half circle. Maybe if there's some epic ceiling with Michelangelo on the ceiling and you got the cloud. But other than that, in my video, I'm never going to use that whole thing.
Circle.
And so now, not only am I going to now show everyone, all of us working because we're clearly in the same side. I'm wasting people's time. So now you can't get a shot because I'm in the back.
You're in my shot.
I'm in your shot. So even I told my wife, I was like, yo, where are you going? Stay still. Stop moving.
We worked recently with the worst. I mean, we're not bashing you or videographers. It's just this particular team, right? He had it on his gimbal. He had a 35, maybe even wider, right? He must have been maybe 2 feet away from the couple for the first dances. And he just stayed the whole dance, the whole 2 minutes. I have no clean shot. He's in that photo one way or the other, right?
Oh my god!
I'm like, dude,
does that even look
I'm
good
not gonna yell.
aesthetically?
I'm not gonna yell at you when the first dance is already underway.
Right.
No.
Okay.
Are we gonna stop the first
I'm not gonna
dance?
stop
Like,
and then kick you out. No.
But think about it. All right, if you can circle that many times, realistically,
Like-
how many seconds of that are you going to use, right? But
I
you're there
don't
10
know.
minutes,
What are you doing?
5-10 minutes circling. You're going to use like 5 seconds. You're telling me that you haven't gotten your 5 seconds?
So,
Yeah.
Well, when you see guys doing that, right? Videographers who walk around with only like a 35 or 24 all day, you can say, oh, so you're only doing a highlight video, clearly, because you didn't bring anything else to do any real work for the rest of the day. Because you don't care about any of the moments. You're just here to shoot for flash, right? Literally, right? You can't shoot speeches on a 35. You're gonna see the whole world. Like, what? What's happening right now?
he was on his 35, right? So during the ceremony, he's got his 3 cameras, but his center camera, his out camera, he was on a 35 on his gimbal, right? He's not even on a tripod. But the thing was, he was so close. I looked at his screen. He was shooting half body on a 35. Do you know how close you have to be on a 35 to get half body?
Yes.
Okay.
You damn near at the altar.
All right. So I was like, dude, where am I going to shoot down the aisle when they do the first kiss and stuff? You're literally maybe less than 10 feet away if you're doing half body, filling the frame with a half body on your 35. Like the rest of the guests are looking at you right now.
Oh my
One
god!
of the things I always ask myself is like, you do this at every wedding?
Yeah.
Right? you, like what
do you
you're
have
doing
work?
today is how you do it every wedding. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Or like you said, awareness. Like their awareness slider, just like
They don't care.
yeah, and it's messed up because
That-
when it affects like we get along with mostly everybody. Like we always, especially for ceremony. For ceremony, I know it's a little bit more moving parts for a videographer, so I tend to follow their lead. And usually they'll come up to me and ask me, "Wait, can I put my listen?
Yeah.
Put your middle tripod wherever you want. I'll work around it." That's
Right.
typically how I approach it,
Mhm.
and they love that, right? But like, there's been a few times where like it makes me like question, like,
Right.
who taught you to be this way? Like,
Why are you like this? Right?
Yeah, like.
What happened to you?
Who hurt you?
I know, but a lot of times, like people aren't taking the time to actually learn. They're just getting a camera, right? Because now the barrier to entry is so low. Everybody buy a camera, and then now we just shoot weddings.
That is one of the.
I'll tell you one more story, right? And I'll share this. I didn't share this last night on last night's live, but I shared this during my coaching call, right? I was like, if you've been doing this for any amount of time, you'll know when the end of the ceremony's coming close, right? Even if you're not looking at a clock, you know it's about to end. And I don't know if you guys done a lot of Jewish ceremonies. At some point towards the end, they're gonna stop on the glass, right? So anyway, the rabbi already took out the pouch with the glass in there already, so we know that the end is coming close. And this video guy, he's still hanging out by mom and dad in the front, right? I was like, the end's close. You should be standing where I'm standing in the aisle, ready for this dude about to
I know
stop
where
on
this
his
is
glass,
about to
right?
go.
But he was hanging out with my mom and dad. I don't know what kind of angle, because he's not standing up. He's crouching down, right? I don't know what kind of angle you're getting by mom and dad.
Nose hairs.
Right? Right? So, of course, the rabbi puts the pouch down on the ground, and this motherfucker comes out to the aisle. He must be like a foot away from, because he's going from, remember, he's in the first aisle.
Yeah, so he's backing up now.
So he has to come out just a little bit. He can't run all the way down to where I'm at, right? And he just pops out when he's about to stop. I got
Blocks your
nothing,
whole
man.
shot.
And then during cocktails, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that was going to happen so quickly. I hope you got your shot. I hope I didn't block your shot. I was like, listen, dude, whatever. I did not get
I
the
was
shot.
like, you fucked me.
Bro, those apologies drive me insane.
I hope I didn't get your way. I was like, dude,
I'd be like,
whatever,
bro,
man. Don't even talk to me, man.
Stop talking to me. I literally say that. So when I get to that point in the wedding, I'll be like, bro, stop talking to me, because this ain't going to end well. And then Tasha comes and saves me, and she pulls me to the side, and she goes talk, because if I say something else, it's going to come off like, you motherfucker.
But you knew, when I was telling you the story, you already knew where this was going to go.
I knew where it was going.
You knew where it was going, you know? So,
oh my gosh!
I think sometimes also a lot of creative, I won't say a lot of creatives, the newer guys, the guys who haven't taken time to study the craft, to study how some of these ceremonies and receptions actually go for every culture, is that they're so consumed with capturing the content that they're supposed to be capturing that they also forget, again, about everyone else who's at the reception. Dude, move your butt from in front of the grandma. Grandma can't see.
Oh my God.
Move.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, like,
Yes.
being strategic, yeah, you want to get this epic shot, but if it's at the expense of the grandma or the mom or the dad, then
Can't even enjoy the
don't do it.
moment.
I was
can't
like,
even
video guy,
remember.
why are you standing there? The girl
Yeah.
can't see the bride coming
Yeah.
down the aisle. Why are
Oh,
you standing there?
Yeah.
I did a wedding one time where, this is standard, right? If we're shooting the processionals, we're standing together in the same side, right?
Yeah.
This videographer went to the opposite side. I'm just like,
The
Yeah.
groom's
alright,
behind you.
cool. Right, but now like he went like a little bit ahead of the pew, so he's not in my way when I take pictures of the groom. As the bride comes, he stands up, and the groom can't see the bride. He literally walks up to him. He was like, "You have to move. I can't see my bride." I was like, "Oh, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's so embarrassing
Yeah.
that the groom has to come up to you because you have no common sense."
So you want to
Like,
know what you're paying for, right? Why you don't scrape the bottom of the barrel for your creative team. This is why, you hire Tweedledee and Tweedledum to come shoot your way. This is what you get.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
You can't see your bride coming down.
All right.
Yeah.
How many
Ben
kids you got? For the audience members who don't know who you are, how many kids you got? All right,
So
that y'all tells me you got at least two. That y'all tells me you got at least two kids.
So I have 3 kids.
Uh-huh.
I have a 16-year-old son, I have a 12-year-old daughter, and I have a 5-year-old daughter. And they are a handful.
Very active.
Any
with them.
activities that
They
you
are-
got after school
you
activities?
left out the fourth member.
Oh, yeah.
And I got a little dog named Simba.
Did you say little?
Okay, so Simba's not really little. Simba's like 75 pounds.
Oh my gosh, what kind of dog is Simba?
Golden.
Golden
Oh my
Doodle.
God,
He's like a whole human.
Yes.
Yeah,
Massive.
he barks at all the wrong things. Like, bad guy walks in the house, he'll jump on him.
Oh, yeah.
But if he's hungry, he'll bark you to death.
Yeah.
Really, dude? So you're just gonna let me die so you can eat? Oh, right. That
They're
works.
not good guard dogs.
Yeah.
So the
So,
worst guard, though.
but yeah, so I have 3.5. three humans and an animal. My youngest daughter is 5, and she's pretty busy. She's a very erudite young lady, and she's into track and basketball and flag football. She's playing flag football.
Yeah, I saw the photos you posted.
So
It's amazing.
Yeah, she takes after her older brother, but I just love her running around with the pom poms in her hair. She looks
So
like
cute. They're like-
she looks like a real life like baby doll that can move. Like it's funny. And then my 12-year-old, she is in 6th grade and she plays basketball and volleyball and softball, but she's also into like Model UN. She's really artsy in the theater, so that keeps us pretty busy. And then my 16-year-old son, they tell me that he's pretty good at football, so that keeps us on the run a lot. He's a national football recruit, I think he's number 14th quarterback in the United States. So that
He's a beast, man.
he's all right. I like him. He eats up all my groceries, so I don't really have a choice. I can't trade him in
He's
for a
like,
little bottle.
let's keep him humble.
Yeah. So, but I think we're blessed and fortunate that he is extremely blessed at football and is going to provide some opportunities for him, not just in high school, but in college and possibly even further to create some generational wealth for my grandbabies, right? To be. But with that comes some family sacrifices, right? When you have a high level athlete, it causes you to have to do things a little bit differently than your regular, typical rec high school sports person.
Soccer mom.
Yeah, soccer mom. So, so it has forced us to evaluate things in our business a little bit and shift some things around from the way we were doing business from quite some time because, we all know weddings happens on the weekends and so does his football games. We had to make some harsh decisions, and because at the end of the day, I can't be there for everyone else's family and not be present in my own. And so we've been intentional in accepting less and less weddings on the weekends and pivoting a little bit more back into what we originally were, what we got started in with more commercial and corporate work, just so we can be a little bit more present for our children. Because, I think as creatives, we shoot a lot of weddings and events, and you don't realize how fast your family, your kids grow up until you start quantifying the amount of events that you may or may not miss. You know, my son's a 9th grader, so there's a 90% chance he's going to enroll in college early and leave after Christmas, based on his trajectory right now, which for him is a blessing. He'll get a free extra semester of college and graduate early and get more degrees. But for us, that means that's a whole 6-7 months that we won't have with him in our home. So when you start quantifying things of, you know, I've got 3 years, but really I've got 3 Christmases. I've got 3 4th of July. I've got
so
2
sad.
birthdays, right? But it changes
Karis gonna cry.
it changes your perception of time and the value that you have on time, because that's not a lot.
Yep.
And so when we started looking at things through that lens, we said we have to do something different because family is everything.
Right.
And so, you know, we've been doing a lot more commercial and corporate work, branding work, not just video, but like photography, marketing, collateral, strategy, consulting. So it's been a blessing to have those skills in our back pocket that most people don't know that we do. And for the people that we've been working with for the past decade, they know we do those things. So now we're trying to figure out how to leverage the clients that we have for weddings and let them know, hey, we do this. Because a lot of them don't know that we do that. And some of them are like, oh, well, we trusted you to do this. We dang sure could trust you to do that. You know what I mean? Especially when this ain't even our money. This is their money. Let's spend it. Right? But because we earned that trust by creating a great experience, by making sure that we over-delivered, by making sure that the products that we put out for them personally were at a certain level of excellence, that they have faith knowing that we can do that for them in the business sense, not just to make their corporations look good, but also help them elevate in their professional experience. That's important, right? And you know, we never had the will to have an associate team. We tried it, didn't really work out. I got control issues. I just, and plus also with
I don't know
video,
what you're talking about.
yeah, listen, but I don't. But for videos, it's, you know, it's a lot more variables in the equation that can go wrong. And when I tried it, me personally, I couldn't get over the little things like the bad audio. I can fix everything else, but I can't fix bad audio. And if I come back with bad audio from a associate team, I might as well refund the couple all their money, because now we're just gonna watch Beyonce music video, right? And so, so we decided, hey, let's dive a little bit more into corporate work and commercial work, where we can leverage some of the skills and assets that we already have, so we can be more present with our family.
Every successful person that you've seen in your life, in your feed, there's usually some measure of personal sacrifice that was involved. Even your son, your 16-year-old, who's where he is today, there's personal sacrifice. I mean, he goes to school, what, 40 minutes away, an hour away?
Yeah, an hour away from where we live.
Right?
Yeah.
That means he's got to wake up at what, 4 o'clock every morning, 4:30 in the morning to get to school, right?
Yep.
Right? So I think I talk about this all the time. You know, your success, you're not entitled to it. You have to earn that. You know, no one's going to give that to you. You have to get it yourself. I mean, there is such a thing as inherent talent that'll take you so far, but talent without hard work is nothing.
I tell my kids that whatever you want to do in life, there's always a fee, and you have to pay the fee. There's no way around it, right? And for us, fee stands for your focus, your energy, and your effort. So whatever you're going to do in life, you're going to have to pay the fee. You're going to have to give it your focus to make sure that you can hone in on what you need to do and be the best at it. It's going to take some energy. You're not going to just wake up and automatically be amazing at it. You're going to have to put in the time to get better at your craft. And then you're going to have to give it the effort, because some days you're just not going to want to do it. You know, listen, 4 a.m., it's rough. Just being a dad, waking up at 4 a.m. and driving him. I'm not even the one in the gym running and working out. Just to wake up, to drive him is a lot. You know what I mean? And so being able to give that effort is important, so you can maximize whatever your potential is, because the last thing you want to be known as the guy or the girl who had potential. That should be an insult to you. The fact that you were left at potential. And so, you know, when you pay your fee, you yield the dividends of the harvest that you sow. And that's not just for him, using sports as an analogy, but even in our businesses. You know, sometimes we're paying the fee in the wrong areas of our business, and we're wondering why we're not yielding results that we need. Our focuses are on the wrong things. You know, some people get so focused on gear that they miss the experience. They're giving so much effort on posting on Instagram that they don't have any clients. You know what I mean? So really embracing all of the letters of feed, the focus, the effort, and the energy is important in no matter what field or what vertical you happen to be working in.
I love that.
Yes.
I need to thank you twice.
I
First
think
one,
you
the
just,
first one for
just
the highlight
like a
reel.
love letter for Ben right now.
For the first one for the highlight reel.
Hard eyes.
Well, the first one is for the highlight reel that you just created for Jenn right now. Right? That's the first thank you. And then the second thank you for being our guest today.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that we could have asked for a better guest to join us this week, because this was my topic for this week as well. You know?
Oh, your topic was Ben. Oh, that was my man.
No, my topic was putting your energies in the right places, the right way.
Gotcha.
I don't want to be the guy that says that you're not working hard enough. You could be working your ass off, but you just got to put your energy in the right places in the right way, and focus on the right things. That's all. Anyway, you got anything else to add on your checklist? Anything else to?
What's next for Ben?
Yep.
And Yamean and Tasha. Tasha's in this too.
Honestly, we're trying to figure it out. We don't know exactly where we want to go. I know I want to do a lot more passion projects this year. I have a strong desire to do some work in the health and human services space. So I've actually started working on a project centered around maternal child health, talking about moms and their experiences with delivering babies, because maternal child health is a big issue here in the United States.
Oh, yeah.
And before I picked up a camera, I did some work for an organization called Healthy Start that worked with maternal child health. So I wrote grants and did some programming around fatherhood and stuff like that. And so I have a deep yearning in my heart to tell that story. So I'm happy. It's going to be like a year-long project of like a mini documentary I'm working on with some really cool moms telling their stories, not just about their birthing journey, but about just their experience being mothers and what it meant to go through pregnancy, post-pregnancy, postpartum, and how they felt as mothers in America that experience was. Just to kind of shine some lights on that.
There's a whole other episode.
Yeah, so I think this year I want to do some work for me that resonates deep within myself, that tell the stories that mean a lot to me and my family and my wife. But other than that, yeah, we're just gonna keep shooting weddings when they come. We're gonna keep making some great content and some great mini documentaries for nonprofits and schools and companies. Just keep telling stories around the world. So pretty excited.
That sounds exciting.
And more educating. We'll see you in more
And
conferences.
more educating. Oh, I'm actually speaking at Imaging 2025.
All right.
So I just got asked to do that. So I'm pretty excited. I have a platform class there.
Nice.
So anybody want to come in and check me out?
We'll be there.
I'm doing an intro to video course, like on the main stage type of thing.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna leave with some practical tips and tricks. That's my thing. I want people to leave with practical things they can really do when they leave, and not just take pictures of slides. Right? I don't need. We got enough inspiration on Facebook and Instagram. We need practical things we can leave.
I love that.
So if you come to Imaging 2025 in Dallas, I believe, come
we-
check me out for my
we're gonna be
platform
down for a few
class.
weeks.
We're gonna be out there, have some barbecue with you.
We gonna have some barbecue.
Do you know, like, if you're gonna go for the whole imaging, or you're gonna just like for like 2 or 3 days, like last time, or?
I'm just popping out.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that I'll probably have
Popping
my
it
platform class, and then Nikon might ask me to do some stuff on the stage and do another video walk. I've heard they've gotten rave reviews from my little video walk.
It was packed, man.
So
Yeah, it was.
yeah, it was packed.
I was pretty blown away by the
Yeah,
response
that was
they got.
amazing.
So I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna bring Tasha with me.
You said that last time, and she didn't come. I was very
Well,
upset.
what happened was, with all these kids and dogs, somebody's got to take them. Somebody's got to take them where they got to go. So we've already got reinforcements already signed up.
You gotta get them 9 months in advance.
But I know there's another conference where it's not too far from your house. And you don't have to worry about the babysitting situation.
Listen, I will be at the Focus AF Volume 2 conference.
Yeah, you can even bring the kids.
I will bring the kids. I will let Sophia talk.
Bring a
It's dog friendly too.
Oh, yeah, that's
bring
right.
some
The dog
Bojacks,
was-
Opie, and Ellie.
No, you can't bring Opie to the Focus
No,
Day
when they
Summit.
get together, oh my gosh.
Opie barks at everybody
We
for no
need
reason.
a whole separate room just for
Just for the
that.
dogs.
Well,
Doggy daycare.
your dogs like to
attention.
punch my dog in the face because my dog does the most. So I enjoy it.
Yeah, Opie he for some reason Ben's dog is like 5 times the size of our dog,
Really?
and
Yes.
he runs away from Opie. Like
And that means your
Yes.
dog is 50 times bigger than our dog.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Our dog's
20
20
pounds.
Oh, you got a fun dog.
She's like this.
we have a cavapoo.
Oh, I got a
Yeah,
human.
but she makes the other dogs run for their lives too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
she-
funny.
Only girl.
It's
Yeah.
funny.
So I just want to say thank you to you guys for having me on the podcast.
man.
Aw.
Thank
you.
No one thanked us.
I think you were first.
Oh, well, listen, it means a lot, to be able to just have a platform, just to kind of share who I am and what I do, and just to hang out with some of my buddies who are doing amazing work. So I just want to salute you
Appreciate
guys.
Right.
Aw.
I want to salute you guys
Appreciate
for what you're doing because this podcast is authentic, it's genuine,
Uh-huh.
it's a good time, and so whatever I can do to help you guys continue to
We appreciate
push it
that.
forward, I definitely will.
Yeah.
And next time I come, I wear my Focus AF shirt. I didn't want to be over the top, so I was like, nah, I'm gonna wear it this time.
Your slippers were enough for
Yes,
this.
yes.
For
They
this
make up for
episode.
everything.
Well, we thank you for coming
Yeah,
on.
thank you.
Let's not let imaging be the first time we see each other again. Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
no,
not
no,
wait
no,
till-
no,
Because
no.
we always see each
Hold on,
other
hold on.
out of state. Makes no
It's-
sense.
I
Facts.
know.
All I
yeah.
know is that it's getting warmer, so I'm sure we're gonna be in the pool at some point.
Yeah. But you're going
So-
to have to bring your own food for KJ because that boy.
You got a 16-year-old that eats
He needs to
like
bring his own food. Oh my God. He
Feed
eats-
a kid, he'd be like,
When
I'm not even hungry anymore.
How tall is he?
He's 6'1".
16.
He's only a year older than
Our nephews.
Our nephew, and maybe like a year or two older than.
two,
Aiden's
3 years
14 this
older.
year.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
Yeah.
he's like a full-sized man.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, like
That
when we
is-
go, when we
Our nephew
fly,
doesn't look like this.
if we didn't have TSA pre-check,
Yeah,
it'd be I had to get him his own TSA pre-check because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
always
yeah.
thought he was too old.
yeah.
No, our
so-
kid's like he just barely broke 5
Yeah.
foot.
Yeah, no, he's
Every day he's
6'1".
like, "Am I 5'5" yet?"
You haven't hit puberty
Maybe
yet.
tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
Go back to bed.
Yeah, I'm still taller than you.
Yeah, he's literally a whole 205
Wow.
pounds. Like
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I don't
he,
even know
he
if
picks
Justin
me
even
up
broke
off the
100.
ground. Like I was washing dishes the other day.
Yeah.
I got my headphones on, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So they could be burning the house down. For all I care. This is gonna be clean though.
Yeah.
He literally was calling me and I couldn't hear him because I had my headphones
Yeah,
on. I had
yeah.
the noise cancellation
Yeah.
on. He picked me up off the floor. First of all, I'm a grown man. Put me down. You understand? I don't like it. But then
Kevin Hart said that.
what made it worse was I couldn't get out. I was like, wait, I don't like this part of life. But wait, okay. So yeah,
Wow.
he's bigger than me now.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
crazy.
But this is
Yeah.
one of the favorite parts that we love about our podcast. Like we get to invite a lot of our friends to hang out with us.
Yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
what it's all about being part of the community and sharing our stories, inspiring others, and things like that. And I think today we had a lot to be inspired about.
You gave
I
Ben so
appreciate
many
you guys.
goosebumps.
Yeah.
He's so happy.
Yeah. All
When
kinds
someone
of
can speak
goosebumps.
his language. Well,
I
thank you.
purposely didn't watch none of your lives this week because I was like, I'm not about to come in here and regurgitate something I heard.
But you did a little bit.
I don't know. I only watched them, but this week I was like, nope, I'm gonna see him this week. So I'm
But
not.
you know what?
'Cause that would be weird.
Because we were, what do you call it? Well, this doesn't air for another month and a half anyway. But just because we were so dialed in, that believe it or not, a lot of stuff that you covered today, I talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About surrounding yourself with like-minded.
And also personal sacrifice to get where you need to go.
Good vibes.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've
good
always
vibes.
told Ben this since I met him. Like, he's the one person I know that does so many things.
How did you guys meet?
At
a wedding.
At a
At a
wedding.
wedding.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
shot a wedding together in
Liberty Warehouses,
2016.
2016.
That's Brooklyn.
We,
right?
we,
Yeah.
Me and Jen were the only vendor that our friend Vicky, the planner, didn't get on board. Like, the couple found us, they loved us,
Mhm.
and then we worked together, and we just been friends ever
that your first
since.
time
That was
Vicky
the
as
first
well?
time we worked
Yeah.
with Vicky.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That
And
was
Mike
our-
was the DJ too, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mike was the DJ too.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the first time we had worked with any of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
We had met
snap.
them before, but
Mhm.
never
Yeah,
had
yeah,
worked
Yeah, I,
together.
remember,
Yeah.
I worked with Mike independently of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we just like hit it off. We had such a great time.
Yeah.
And we've been friends since. Like,
That's how it happens, man. That's how it happens.
That's how it works.
All right,
Yep.
this is a good way good time to wrap everything up.
Yes. Thank you again, Ben, for joining us.
Thank you guys. For
where can our listeners find you?
You can find me. What I didn't talk about. I talked about my commercial work, but you can find me online on Instagram and all the social media platforms at Yamean Studios, YAMEAN Studios. But you can find me for my non-wedding work at McKee Place on Instagram and McKeePlace.com. So
awesome.
That's me.
Great. Thank you again.
Thanks, guys.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us on today's episode. Hope you guys had an amazing time hanging out with our good friend, Ben Davis. If you guys would like to check out some of our highlights and blooper reels and all that good stuff, you can find us on Instagram at focus.af. You can also find us online at focus-af.com. If you guys like to send in your stories, we'd love to hear them. If you would like us to invite a guest to our show, let us know who you'd like us to interview. We'd love to see what you guys got. You can send that over at hello@focus-af.com. So on that note, are you guys focused AF?
We are.
We are now. It's
lunchtime.
It's early afternoon.
Is it pupusas? Are we doing pupusas?
No.
We need snacks in here. We need snacks for the next podcast.
Yeah, but
there's a reason why we don't bring snacks.
Yeah. I have
crunching
misophonia. I have a disability. So
a disability.
You gotta bring sounds that don't crunch.
all right, let's get out of here, guys. Adios.
Bye. Bye.
Focused AF is a fun, business-focused podcast for wedding creatives.
Co-hosted by award-winning husband and wife wedding photography teams, Ben and Karis.
And Jenn Ro, where we help fellow wedding creatives with their sales and marketing.
With laid-back conversations and real talk with some of our most favorite people in the universe.
And with that being said, are you focused AF?
I am Focused AF today.
We are Focused AF.
I think I might be Focused AF.
Welcome to the Focused AF podcast.